I need to hear a hell yeah. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hell yeah!
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we have a problem.
You're the next one and I'm gonna kill you. Don't believe it, but I'm betting that you will. Stop, no, I'll let you live a little bit with the pain that I bring. You know it's only the beginning. Stop up, cause you're the next one and I'm gonna kill you. Don't believe it, but I'm betting that you will. Stop, no, I'll let you live a little bit with the pain that I bring. You know it's only the beginning. Not breaking the limit inside you. Stop making someone to hide you. I'm breaking the limit inside you. Stop making someone to hide you. I'm breaking the limit inside you. Stop making someone to hide you. I'm breaking the limit inside you. Stop running away, bring it on. Down that.
The 2018 Philadelphia Eagles are still alive. And if you like that, give me a hell yeah. I said the 2018 Philadelphia Eagles are still alive, and I want a hell yeah. Nick Foles. I'm going to tell you the story about Nick Foles yesterday. Nick Foles, Super Bowl MVP, the savior in LA. This is probably right now the savior of the season. He came in yesterday at the link, at the last game of the season, home game of the season. He not only threw for 1 tub, 2 tubs, 3 tubs, 4 tubs. He got knocked down. He got a forced fumble on him. He threw an interception. He got back up. I said he got back up. That's right, he took a shot at the ribs. He said no. He said, no, I'm not losing this game. He said he's not losing this game. He got back up. He threw a pass to Alshon. He handed the ball to Darren Sproles. Got us in the field goal range. And Jake Elliott makes the field goal of the season. That being said, we're still alive. I said we're still alive. I said we're still alive. Because we got one more game. We got one more game against the Deadskins. That's right, I said the Deadskins. Division rival. With Butt Fumble. Butt Fumble at the helm. If we win that game, we got to start praying that Chicago Bears win their game. And if those two things happen, we're in the postseason. But for now, I said for now, let's talk about that great game.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
What's up, guys? That was my piss poor attempt to imitate the great Stone Cold. The great Stone Cold Steve Austin. One of the greatest wrestlers of all time, right? For us in our childhood, we used to watch WWE. Okay, I don't want to get those infringement rights on me, so WWE superstar Stone Cold Steve Austin. And honestly, the only reason I did that, it was because of last week when I forgot who was Instagramming the live feed, but like Doug Peterson was in there's like, I need a hell yeah from this team, and everyone was like, hell yeah. And the caption was, Doug Peterson goes full out Stone Cold. Hence my intro, hence all that, guys. So it all had a purpose. It all had a purpose. But man, what a game. What a game. Hey, let me tilt this up a little bit. Yeah, because it's Eagles time, man. What's going on here? Here we go. Wait a little bit to the left. All right, it's Eagles time. Eagles time. We're still alive. We're alive for one more week. But we need some help. We need some help. We need to hope that the Bears beat the Minnesota Vikings. As of last night, this is another reason why I waited to make the video till today, because I wanted to see if Seattle lost against the Chiefs. Because if Seattle had lost last night, right, we had a hope that okay, let's put it this way. If Seattle lost last night, that would have meant that if Seattle lost this coming Sunday, then we would have taken the 5th seed. Okay, so there was a small chance that we could have had a shot at the 5th seed, but as of last night, that is no longer the case. The Seattle Seahawks defeated the Kansas City Chiefs. And unfortunately for us Eagles fans yesterday too, the Minnesota Vikings defeated the Detroit Lions. And I said that was going to happen. I said our ticket, and probably the only ticket we have left now, is the Bears beating the Minnesota Vikings next week. Now, this is why I'm happy too. This is why I'm extremely happy. Because the Minnesota Viking Bears game and the Eagles Redskins game is going to be put on both games are going to be aired at the same time. The Eagles games initially was supposed to be aired up at 10 a.m. Pacific 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern for all you East Coast people. So it got flexed to the 1:25 game or the 4:25 game for all you East Coast people. So that's great because now we get to simultaneously watch the Eagles game and the Bears game. And I'm so happy that the Bears are in that position to basically play for that number 2 seed, because if they weren't in that position, guys, I honestly think our chances would have gone down even further to have any realistic hope of making the playoffs. That is no longer the case. The Bears are playing for that number 2 seed. And honestly, I'm hoping for the best. I'm not going to say they're going to win. I'm hoping for the best because that's what I've been doing the last couple of weeks. I know at the beginning of the year I was trash talking. I know at the beginning I was doing a lot of trash talking. And look, I got spoiled, okay? I got spoiled. The Eagles just won the Super Bowl. Thought we were going to make another good run. But we are where we are. That's in the past. I reverted back to what I was doing last year and just taking it one game at a time. Stop all the trash talking and hoping for the best. That being said, that's just my superstition. That's just my superstition. What's been going on the last couple games? Good running game. Great play calling. Not fancy play calling. Nick Foles just, bam. I know it's only 2 games, but he's playing decent. He's playing decent. I mean, I'm not a great yet. I'm tempted to say great. He's playing good football. Can I just say that? He's playing good football. Okay? Yeah, he had that force from upon him, but that was a breakdown on the line. And yeah, he threw that interception. But man, he was just slinging it down the field. And, he was just making play after play. We did with the exception of those good Darren Sproles runs, we really did not have an effective running game. But man, what more can you ask for? I mean, look, Philadelphia Eagles. Guys, can they just get through one game? This is what I'm asking for. This is actually the only thing I'm asking for. Can they just get through one game where you have the lead going into the 4th and you're not giving me diabetes type 3 by the end of the 4th quarter? Why am I saying that? Because we almost again blew it in the 4th quarter, just like we did in the Rams game. We almost blew it. And this time, we didn't have the lead. This time, we were down by 1, and Nick Foles comes in, and this is the resiliency of Nick Foles. I'm telling you, there's something about this guy. I've always loved this guy. And look, before we all start going crazy, Carson Wentz is still my franchise quarterback. Until I'm told otherwise, Carson Wentz is still my franchise quarterback. Why is this thinking? Okay. Carson Wentz is still my franchise quarterback. I just want to make that clear. I'm not going to get into the whole Wentz-Foles debate right now because it's not that time yet. Look, it's only been 2 games. It's been 2 great games. It's 2 games that has kept us alive for the season. But we can't have that debate. Because we all know that Carson Wentz is the better quarterback, is the better athlete. Nick Foles right now is just the better quarterback because he's healthy. Carson Wentz is not healthy. So you really can't create that comparison. And I'm tired of hearing it out there. Because you can't compare an unhealthy quarterback who's having injury issues to a full-out healthy quarterback. But anyways, like I said, I don't want to get into that. I just want to get to what Nick Foles did yesterday. Because this man threw over for 400 yards, had 4 touchdowns, and 2 turnovers. Against a great defense. Everybody knows that the Texans defense is a good defense. So Great game by the Texans. Shout out to all Texans fans out there. Great game. Great game. Whew. I was at Buffalo Wild Wings, right? I was talking to this Dallas fan next to me. Yeah, I was sitting next to a Dallas fan. Well, they were playing there too. I mean, we were playing at the same time. What can we do? And then he's like, man, your boy Nick's looking good. I'm like, again, he's gonna do it again. Look, I don't know. I just want to win the game. And and then all the delusional fans in the back were saying, oh, Dallas is in the playoffs. We're going to the Super Bowl. Come on, Dallas fans. Come on now. Come on. But anyway, St. Nick put up a spectacle yesterday. Woo, man. But my favorite thing that I saw yesterday from FOLES is when he took that shot of the rib area, the whole core area. He said, no. Get me back in there, coach. I said, get me back in there, coach. I got one more drive in me. I said, I got one more drive in me. I got to throw it to Alshon. Then I'm going to hand it off to Sproles. And then Jake Ellis set up for the field goal. Man, what can you ask for? Defense. For giving up so many yards, and we already knew they were going to do that. I mean, you had Hopkins on one side, and then you had Thomas on the other side. And even DeAndre Carter was like here and there, But, they were going to get thrown against. That's fine, but they did it good against the run too. I didn't see much of a run game from the Texans, but what I did not like yesterday from the defense is having no spy on Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson scored 2 touchdowns on the same play. They ran the same play twice, and both times he scored. And no, there was no spy. There was no spy found to keep an eye on Deshaun Watson. That's why it's been an Achilles heel of the Philadelphia defense, mobile quarterbacks. But somehow, overcoming all that, the Eagles put one final game-winning drive and keep their hopes alive for the 2018-19 postseason. We're still alive. Man, 3 weeks ago, I know I called it quits. Like I said, I was down 19-3. Was it 19-3 against the New York Giants? And like I said, I was going on based on what I saw for 10 straight weeks. It is not because I had faith in my team. It's because at that moment, right? At that moment, I didn't know how we did it. Team resiliency, I guess. I was proven wrong. I admit I was wrong. I'm wrong on a couple of things. It happens. But I was glad. Now they're back. And they got a shot at the postseason. But they're going to need a little help. They got to hope the Bears win, which, like I said, for our benefit, they have something to play for. They have the number 2 seed to play for. It's just good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Nick Foles, I don't know what it is about this guy, man. God. I loved him, like I said. I loved him when he was here the first time, and I was mad when he left. And then he just comes back in, season on the line, and does his magic again. Man, it's just... I swear, Nick Foles, his story after he's out of this league is going to be... Like, if he ever has not the book he printed out, he just came out with, but, like, the book that... Or they do... I think this guy's going to get a movie. Honestly. I wouldn't be surprised. If Vince Papale got a movie, and Vince Papale never won anything, and if you don't know who Vince Papale is, you look it up. But if Vince Papale got a movie, there better be a movie about St. Nick. But that's in the future. But for me, it's just Nick Foles, man. God, what a guy. He gave me hope for Christmas. Nick Foles gave me hope for Christmas. We got one more game to play. He's just playing a lot of time. 4 freaking touchdowns against a top defense. Man, what more can you ask for the guy? Yeah, he wasn't perfect. He wasn't perfect. He had a lot of help. He spread the ball around. Alshon, Zach Ertz, Darren Sproles, Wendell Smallwood started running. I guess if the running it wasn't that great, but everybody pitched in. Man, it was great to see. It was great to see. I'll make my Eagles, Redskins preview later on this week, but I'm happy to say that now that thank you, Nick. We'll see what happens in the future, but as of now, based on what our cap space is and what we need to do next year moving forward, this could potentially be Nick Foles' last home game as an Eagle. That's just the reality of it, guys. That's just the reality of it. We need to pay certain players, certain contracts need to be moved around, and Nick Foles' cap amount to keep him is $20 million. So it's gonna. The only thing that can change the conversation is I'm honestly thinking is another Lombardi. That's the only way I think they keep Foles, or Foles restructures his contract. But we'll see. He said he loved Philly. He loved being in a Philly uniform. But honestly, you guys got to think about cap space. You guys got to think about what Nick Foles is worth. Because even if Nick Foles, you understand that his value right now is going up. Based on just those 2 games, I can tell you right now that a lot of teams are starting to look at Nick Foles. There's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks out there. So there's one in particular that I'm looking at, Jacksonville. They need a quarterback ASAP. The Jets. Well, the Jets. No. What am I talking about? The Jets. No, Jacksonville. I wouldn't be surprised if Arizona gives them a call too, given the way that's turned out this season. I hate to say it, this is a long shot too. Maybe New York. I may be wrong in that one, but honestly, if I were to bank it right now, it would be Jacksonville. That's my number 1, and Arizona. And Arizona, yeah. Buffalo, I can't. Does Buffalo need? Yeah, maybe Buffalo. You could throw Buffalo in the mix, maybe. Maybe not. But my intuition is leading me to Jacksonville. It's a mess down there. So, he's gonna have value, and if he gets us into if we get into the playoffs, and he makes a run in the playoffs, I'm not saying Super Bowl. I said I'm not saying Super Bowl. He's gonna have some trade value, and I'm not saying it's gonna be a number 1. It's not gonna be a number 1, but we get some number 2s for Foles. We can ask for number 2s, maybe get a player in the mix, but we'll see. That's later on. But the reality is, this probably was Nick Foles, potentially Nick Foles' last game as a Philadelphia Eagle. Home game. It's sad, man. It's sad. Because he's a Philly legend, man. He's going to be a Philly legend for life. You know? But thank you, Nick. If this was your last game, your last home game, I hope you had a hell of a ride there, man. Because you played outstanding yesterday. You played outstanding, dude. So we'll see what the future holds. But for now, he's got one more game. Doug Peterson, I was watching his press conference today, and it looks like Nick Foles will be the starter. There was some report by Philadelphia 247 Sports saying that the Nick Foles was non-committed to Week 17. I think that was the title. He doesn't have to play Week 17, but given the way things are, Carson Wentz ain't playing. Nick Foles is going to play. It was kind of evident by the press conference by Doug Peterson this morning. So next week, potentially, may be Nick Foles' last game as an Eagle. And I only say that because we got to hope that the Bears win. We got to be realistic. It's not that if we win, we make the playoffs. We have to win, and then we're watching the other scoreboard and find out if the Bears are beating Minnesota. That's the only way we get in, guys. That's the only way we get in. And we're probably going to have to face either the Bears or the Rams in the playoffs, depending if the Rams win and the Niners pull up an upset against the Rams. Because if not, then we have to hope the Bears win, and then we got to go play the Bears that following weekend. So that's where we're at right now, guys. That is where we're at. So that being said, fly Eagles fly, go Birds. Hope y'all have a Merry Christmas. Hope you have fun with your families. I gotta get ready to start setting up. It's that time again. So hope y'all have a Merry Christmas, and on to the next.
I didn't hear no bell. Get up, you son of a bitch. Mickey loves you.